All right. Hello, everyone. How y'all doing today? Hope you're all having a good weekend. We're here today to talk some Warzone. We're going to be going over all the new things in the new updates. There's been actually 3 updates since the last time I streamed. So we're going to be going over all of those. We're going to be answering questions from the community. Before we get started, I just want to take a minute to say who I am. I go by the name Fizzer. I am the creator of this game, Warzone. I've been working on this game now for 17 years, something like that. Crazy long time. I love making this game. I plan to continue working on this game the rest of my life if I can. I like to do a stream after every update, or as often as I can, I should say. It doesn't happen every update. As I just said, it's been 3 updates this last stream, although one of those was just a 0.1 update, which wasn't too significant. But we're going to be going over them all anyway, going over everything that's new, talking over, and I'm going to answer questions from the community. We already got a whole bunch of questions queued up here that we're going to be going over. Yeah, so also if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat room. Looks like it's pretty dead today. Maybe because I streamed on Easter Sunday. That was not intentional. But it's fine. I'm sure some people will be popping in as time goes on. Is my chat working? I don't know. Hopefully it's working. If no chat shows up soon, I will. Okay, it's working. It's just streaming on a holiday. It's what you get. It's what I get. So yeah, let's go over some of these updates. So about 2 updates ago, we had update 534. I'm going to go over this fast because this is old. Yeah, I'm recording. I always record these and put them on YouTube on the end. I know if people cannot attend on the day of, you can always watch it later. So 2 updates ago, we had an update for a new feature called Copy Game at Turn. This is something that has actually been requested for many, many, many years. People want to basically take a game and go back in time. Hey, Princess JK, how you guys doing? If you go back to a game, let's see if it showed off on something good. Well, I don't know. I'll just pick something random. If you go to the settings panel and you click on this template used button, if you're a member, this is a member only feature. So if you're a person that supports the game by purchasing a membership, you will have this button that says copy game at a specific turn. And then when you come in here, you can pick a turn number. And then you can actually create a copy of this game at that point in time. So like if I pick 3, turn 3, I just created a new game, which is now a copy. Oops. Yeah, I'm going to delete it because I don't want to actually make that game. But it's a copy of that game at that specific turn. If it started, you would have seen... Basically, you would have started with this state of the board. So it copies all the armies on the board. It copies the cards that each player has. And then you can start from that state. So this is useful if you want to be like, what would have happened if something different happened? If we had did in different orders. Sometimes people want to experiment. Sometimes you're in a free-for-all game and a player gets booted and you didn't want that player to get booted. Well, you can create a new copy from the point before that player was booted. And now they're back in the game. So it's just common. There's a whole bunch of features you could use. There's a whole bunch of scenarios in which you could use this feature. That's that. There's a new quick match template. Oh, so this is something, I don't consider this like the end-all be-all, like perfect implementation. I was wondering if it copied over the move order too. Oh, that's a great question. It should. I mean, ideally it should. I'm actually not sure if it does. If it doesn't, it should. I will make a note to look into that, and if it doesn't, I will get that fixed in a future update. I suspect it probably doesn't, because honestly, I never thought about it until just now, until you mentioned it. What JK is talking about is like, if you're at a point when blue is first in the move cycle, if you're using cyclic move order, and you make a copy of it, is it going to maintain that? I think the answer is actually no, unfortunately, but I will get that fixed in a new update. So there is a 41st quick match template now. It has gone from 40 to 41. And the 41st is special. It doesn't work like normal. So just a brief history. The way quick match templates work is players come in here to the voting section and you can vote. They can come and be in here. I love this template. I'm going to give it 3 votes. Or no, I don't like it. I'm going to give it 0 votes. You can see a list of everyone that's voted on the template. And then based on the number of votes each template gets, that sets the templates that everyone has available to them in quick match. So it's a community voted system. One of the things that I didn't like about this was the list would get very stale because the templates that are in quick match get more visibility. So those are the ones that tend to get the most votes. And so then people vote on those, and then that makes it very hard for new templates to get into quick match. So I wanted a way, I've been trying to figure out a way for a while to fix this problem. And what we have now is kind of this T41, template 41. It has a special button on it right here in the voting. And this is not the end-all be-all solution. This is just kind of a toe in the water, like a test. We'll try this out, see how it goes. But the way this template works, template 41, it will pick a random template from between 41 and 60. So we'll go up to rank 60, which is, what am I looking at? 51. So like right now it's through this Copper Creek Castle template. The next 20 templates that are not in quick match, that are just outside the quick match bubble, it will pick a random one of those and it will make it the 41st, which you can see here. Yorkshire Brawl has 72 template votes. It is the highest. It is the 40th template, which would be the one that is previously would have been the last one in quick match. And then Scrabble has 71 votes, but then here we have a 3v3 template with only 63, sandwiched in between the 71 and 72. And that's because it picks a random one from these. So it reached down and it grabbed the one at 63 and it made that. And that will stay for a week. Every week this will change to a new template from the 20 that are on the bubble. And it just kind of gives visibility to a new template. So if you get a template that you like, that ends up in this here spot, and you play it on quick match and you like it, you should put some votes into it, because then that will help it grow and become a permanent template in quick match. It's updated a fixed day time every week. I believe it is every Sunday. I believe it is, yes. I don't know the exact time. I think it's midnight Sunday. I had to guess. Somewhere around there. It's probably accurate. So that's the way that works. And we'll see how this goes over time. So far, this has been live now for like a month or so. And I really like the way it's working so far. I don't know. I haven't gotten much feedback on it. I don't know if people even realize it's happening. Because unless you dig down here into the voting section, you won't know. But I'd be interested in hearing from you. What has been your experience with that? Do you like the change? Is it good? Settings dialog. So there is the settings dialog. This is much improved now. So before we had this weird system where it was a little convoluted. It had 2 settings dialogs. So it had like the newbie one. When you first opened the settings, you'd see like a condensed view, and then you had to click a button that said view full settings to see them all. And that would open this second dialog, the full settings dialog. That has been simplified, so now there's only one. There's only one, but it has the section at the bottom where you can click show full settings. And it basically expands the one setting, expands the one dialog to contain all settings. I like it because once you click show full settings, it will remember that, and you don't have to click twice anymore. You just click once and you have the settings. So basically this has all been merged. The 2 dialogues that existed before have been merged into one dialogue. So like these icons used to only exist on the small one. Now they're in here. Also, I rearranged a whole bunch of stuff, like moved this column to the left so it was spaced better. And yeah, I hope people liking this better. I think it's just a cleaner design. I do plan to come in here and improve this some more, possibly in the next update. Can we get a face reveal? Sure. Go get a mirror. You can reveal your face to yourself. Plan to just do some basic updates here to give some more sections. Make it look a little nicer. It's in the plan. That's the settings dialog. Hotkey for picks. This is something that somebody requested on the feature request forum. Let's talk about the feature request forum. If you come in here to forums, there is this feature requests forum where anyone can create feature requests, things you want me to change in Warzone or improve or disimprove, make worse. I guess you have that option too. You can come in here and you can vote on other ideas that other people have made. Whoops. So the feature request forum, somebody want a hotkey for picks, and all that is when you're viewing picks in a manual distribution game. And this is not a manual distribution game. Go back. Oh yeah, my bad. Manual distribution game. Also not a manual distribution game. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Somehow it's so hard to find a manual distribution game. There we go. You can press the 1 and 2 keys on your keyboard to cycle between the picks of the different players, which is similar to when you're in the middle of playing a game. You can press 1 and 2 to change the perspective of whose perspective you're looking at, which that's always existed, but the hotkey for picks is new. Let's get chat back on. Hotkey for picks is such a great idea. Who came up with that idea? Was it you? If only the past game screen had the game icons. Yeah, I know. I wish it did. The only reason it doesn't is because the games are archived. So when you go into past games, you're looking at, there's literally like for me, I have, 19,000 games on this list. And there's just millions and millions of games that have been archived. And because you can go back, if you're new to Warzone, you might not know this. You can go back to every game you've ever played in Warzone, every multiplayer game. So I can come back in here and I can find all these games from like 2008. When I first started playing. What is this game from? This game's from 2010. But yeah, I have every game going back to 2008 when the game launched. I can go back and watch them all. One of them has a broken image, apparently. But yeah, because there's so many, those games get archived, and the archive database doesn't have all the necessary information to reconstruct all the icons. So that's why there's no icons for past game. So other things that were changed in this update, we're talking about 5.34. A whole bunch of little changes here. I don't necessarily need to go over all of these in great detail. There's a legend now on YouTube exported videos. Now you can see like who the different players are. It shows their color and their name. You have split databases? Yes. Games are deleted from the primary, like a week after the game finishes, it is deleted from the primary database and inserted into an archive database. It's compressed for take less space. Will my map get approved if I make every territory be 1 bonus worth 1 income, with some additional greater bonuses that are also 1 income? So if you go to map requirements, these are the requirements that you have to meet in order for a map to be approved. And nothing you said here, I believe, violates the map requirements. So I think you should be fine. The main things are like, your connections need to be visible. Territories have to be big enough to fit 2-digit army numbers. You can't violate copyright. There can't be missing connections. And then like appropriate size and overlap, stuff like that. Every territory be 1 bonus is not against the map requirements. So you should be fine. And then a bunch of bug fixes, minor changes. I don't know if there's anything here I need to call out. A bunch of new mod stuff. Mod developers were excited about that. Yeah, we'll move on. We'll get to the new good stuff, the new stuff. Though bonuses will be invisible. Bonus links do need to be included. That is one of the requirements. Bonus links to the small boxes that show how many armies each bonus is worth. Bonuses should be placed on the map and they should be visible. So that one you might run into a problem with. So this is just a .1 release, 534.1. The big thing I did in this is I completely overhauled the way that Warzone Idle syncs with the server. Hey Farah, how's it going? And this is something that, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about this more. And 5.35 received even more improvements to the way that Warzone Idle syncs with the server. And this is all designed just to make it more reliable when you're playing from multiple devices. And I hope that it is now much more reliable. At least it will be once 5.35 is fully rolled out, which is not fully rolled out yet. But yeah, Warzone Idle syncing has been one of my big focuses recently. And I think it should be good now in the 5.35 update, which just came out a couple days ago. So yeah, hopefully people are appreciating that. That's been a problem for a while. Honestly, I should have worked on this like years ago, but at least it's done now. Clan ladder rewards show their expiration date, just the thing people had been asking for. Other idle fixes. Copy game fixes, because that was a new feature at the time this came out. Device will no longer sleep and waiting for a quick match game to start. This is something people asked for again on the feature request forum. Updated Unity. A bunch of other bug fixes and a bunch of mod stuff. That was the 5.34.1. I'm not going to go over everything in extreme detail just because it's a .1 update. Nothing in there is too interesting. Let's get to the stuff we want to talk about. This is the recent update. Update 5.35, this is the one that just came out. This is one that's new to everyone, so I figured we focus more on that during this stream. But if anyone has any questions about anything of the previous updates, feel free to ask those. I go over those in more detail. So just 2 days ago, we got 5.35, brand new big update. It's got a bunch of stuff. So the first thing is Idle Premium. This is a new subscription that Warzone Idle players can get. And let's show it off. Let's go. Let me open up my idle level here. Okay, oops. Crap. I screwed it up. Just a second. Okay. Here we go. Oh, come on. Move. Let's get this on here. And I do hope to eventually remove this message that talks to you about playing Warzone Idle from multiple devices. So, Idle Premium, and actually, do I even have Idle Premium enabled? I do not. Hold on. Let me give myself Idle Premium. I had it, and then I removed it because I was testing, like, the purchase, all the code that purchases it. Oh, crap. I don't have my admin. I disable my admin abilities when I stream so that extra stuff doesn't appear on the stream. Just then I'm like, crap. How do I give myself Idle Premium? Wait, I do have Idle Premium. It's already on. Why did I think it wasn't on? Where's my tank? Oh, it's up here. Okay. So one of the things you get in Idle Premium is this cool little tank. Let me show off the actual store page. Oh. Can you not go to the store tab in the standalone client? That's a bug. That's fine though. We can look at it on the website. So this is the Idle Premium page that tells you everything Idle does. So one of the things is you permanently get all the ad watching benefits in Warzone Idle. So the ad watching benefits are these things. This little blue label, we have 30% additional army camp production. Normally you have to watch an ad to get this bonus. You have to watch it for like what? You get like 2 hours of bonus for watching the ad or something like that. Store is only available on the mobile apps. That should not be the case. It should be available on standalone as well. I will get that fixed. But now, if you have Idle Premium, it's just always active. You don't have to click a button. You don't have to do anything. It's just always on, and you can change between the options at any time just by clicking this button here. So if you don't like watching ads, but you like having the ad watch benefits, that's one of the things Idle Premium can do for you. The other thing is the coin wheel. Normally you have to watch a video to spin the coin wheel. If you have Idle Premium, you do not need to watch a video to spin the coin wheel. You just click spin and it spins. That also means you can spin the coin wheel in places where the ads aren't available. Like, for example, right here. I just won 7 coins by spinning the wheel. In the standalone client, which previously you could never spin the coin wheel in the standalone client. Standalone client, if you don't know, is a downloadable Windows, Mac, or Linux application. Lets you play Warzone directly on your PC. It is much faster than the web browser. So if you play on the web and you're like, oh, this is slow and I want something faster, standalone client might be an option for you. So yeah, that's what the Idle Premium does. Oh, Idle Premium does more stuff. So you get a tank. You can see I have this little tank right here. You can name your tank. I can name it my tank. And then you can move the tank. So you click move tank. Boom, I move the tank. Tank can move once an hour. You can also queue up its moves. So you can be like, while I'm not here, I want it to go this way. Probably not moving it efficiently. You can queue up to 10 moves. There we go. I got 10 moves queued. And you click on the tank, you can see your queue. You can delete the queue. You can time warp to make it move. You can see I'll time warp here, and it starts moving. Yeah. Do not want auto conquer on. Turn auto conquer off. So yeah, time warp, see it move. And then you can come in here and you can delete the queue, queue up more moves, finish queue. And that's how the tank works. Oh, and I forgot the obvious thing. The tank, it conquers any territory. So if you actually get it down here to the neutrals, which unfortunately it's... the tank is best when you start the level with it. In this case, I got Idle Premium after I was already quite a ways into this level, so it was kind of silly. It has to go a long ways before it's useful. But once I start my next level, let's go ahead and do that just to show off. Show it off as its best light. Let's start a level of, what should we start? Start Farland. It is much more useful when you start your level with it. Turn on auto conquer to get some of these early ones. Do you think moving once per hour is sufficient to get the tank to the big territories where it's actually needed? Yeah, I do. It shouldn't be too hard. Like, if you take an efficient route, so where are the big territories in this map? So like there's a 1 billion mine up here. So if I queue moves, five, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was 1 away from, or 2 away from it, or yeah, I was 1 away from it in this. But if you do something like a supercharged time warp, which I actually don't have unlocked on this playthrough, I super sent it since I got it. Many more hours to send to the entire level. So I will say that the tank is not really designed for people that are on the very, very late game of Warzone Idle. Once you have like everything unlocked, you're probably going to be conquering levels faster than the tank is needed. I mean, it'll still help you, but it might not be able to get to the end. But for most people, they aren't in that situation yet. The tank will be very useful. So like if I just time warp this tank up here, you can see it is very quickly going to get somewhere where it can take out like a billion territory army, billion army territory. Move tank, billion army territories. There you go, boom. That's kind of how it works. And now that I have all this stuff, I can turn auto conquer back on and get quite a ways into my level. That's how the tank works. You got to show it off on stream, right? Got to show off the tank. What else does Idle Premium do? Idle Premium does a whole bunch of things. So we talked about all the ad watching benefits. Oh, also I didn't mention on the coin wheel. You also don't need to win a game to spin the coin wheel, which is something you usually have to do. If you have Idle Premium, you will get the coin wheel every day, no matter what. It also increases your idle time by 12 additional hours, so you can go away longer and have it still do stuff. Your hospitals upgrade 100 times faster. Show that off. So normally it takes, what, 2 hours to upgrade a hospital? I don't even have a hospital. Where's a hospital? Anyway, it's 100 times faster now, if I can find one. Don't see any hospitals, but yeah. Does the coin wheel automatically pop up every 20 hours? Yes. or it'll pop up in your idle levels. The little icon for it. 35k money cash. Down that path. Do you just know where the hospitals are? Or did you see one? 34 million? No. 35k money cash. Oh, money cash. I'm looking at army caches. Oh, you just know where it is. There you go. You found it. Okay. Hospital. Click upgrade hospital. Boom. It's fast. Yeah. Okay. Mortars load instantly. So normally you have to wait for your mortars to load. Do I have a mortar here? I should just go back to my other level. Load your mortars. Is that one close enough to hit anything? Sure. Load the mortar. Fire. Oh. It's not close enough to hit anything. But anyway, yeah, instant mortars load instantly. Also, your artifact dig crews dig for artifacts 20% faster. So you'll just get artifacts 24% faster. You get 2,000 coins the first time you subscribe. So this is a monthly subscription, but the very first time you do it, you get 2,000 coins, which is a really good deal. You also get 5 of every power the first time you subscribe. Those are one-time rewards. In my opinion, I think it makes a lot of sense to just buy it for 1 month. If you're the kind of person that buys coins, it's like buying it for 1 month is a no-brainer. Whether or not you stay subscribed is up to you, but I think buying it for 1 month. These are put in there to make it absolutely like 0 cents not to buy it for a month if you're the kind of person that buys coins. You also get access to the standalone client. This is something that previously you had to be a member to get access to, but I figure idle players should have access to it as well if you're a paid idle player. Because previously, if you were an idle player and you wanted the standalone client, you had to buy a membership, and it's like if you only played idle, the member benefits didn't really make sense. So now there's a way to get standalone client both for idle players and normal players and classic players, I should say. Hey, how's it going, Just Dutchman? You're welcome for the update. So that's Idle Premium. There's also mod stuff. Let's talk about all the new mod stuff. So this is actually something I'm really excited about. So there is a new button in the community dropout that just says mods. You click on that and you get the mod browser. And then this is a new way of browsing mods. This UI is also integrated into the Create Game UI. So when you're creating a game, you click Change Mods. You have this same mod browser here. So this is one of the things you'll notice immediately. There's little icons next to the mod. Mods have pictures now. Instead of just being the text like it was before, you have the text, and mods can include these pictures to show themselves off. Just a nice little thing to make it easier to browse mods. I went in here and I made images for all the mods that I made, so like Randomized Wastelands, Take Turns. If you don't know what mods are, they changed their ways that mod developers can write code to change the way that Warzone games work. So like Taking Turns is a mod that makes it so you actually take turns individually. So instead of everyone playing at the same time, you have one person go and then someone else go. And there's a bunch of silly mods in here like Swap Territories, which just randomly at the end of a turn, there's a random chance that players' territories will swap owners. So like you'll just be like, oh, Texas is yours now and Brazil is yours. It creates chaos. I actually really like this mod. It's fun. It's not strategic, but it's fun. And there's like tank card, which you'll notice is the same image that's Warzone idle tanks get. Gift armies, all these images. Gift gold. Buy neutral. I like this image. It's a little territory and he's getting money. It's a neutral territory because he's gray. Someone gave him money. Diplomacy. 2 territories shaking hands. Yes, these countries are going to be best friends. And we have card pack. This is Crinid mod. Is that how you say your name? I don't know how you say your name. Yeah, anyway, they have images now, and they have a page. which you notice I'm clicking into with all these mods. I'm clicking into a different page. This used to be like a little dialogue that popped up, and it was too small and not as good. So yeah, the mod browser. Also, you can do filters. You could be like, I want to see only silly mods. There we go. Swap territories is a silly mod. I want to see only mods that support quick match. Boom. You can also search for a mod. You can also type in a player's name here. It's like you can search for a fizzer and you'll find all the mods that I made. Or of course you can type in the name of a mod. Like I can type in tank and there's the tank mods. Or distribution related mods. I can type Dutch. I got all of Dutchman's mods. And you can sort. You can sort by recently updated. And that's how I found when I wanted to show all the mods that had icons, I sorted by recently updated. Because most mods don't have icons yet. So if you come out here, you can see they're all just blank. But I sorted by recently updated so that I had all the ones that had icons at the top. Could you display the active search somewhere? Yes, that's probably a good idea. I will add that to my lists. So that is the mod browser. Mods and mega games. This is something that people have been asking for a long time. I searched for something and then filtered by loud and quick match and then they showed up because the search was hiding it. Yeah, I agree. It should be show it. It's a good idea. So mega games. If you don't know what mega games are, that's a way to play games with more than 40 players. In fact, mega games can go up to 400 players. And up until 2 days ago, mega games did not support mods. And I actually want to make a mega game. Let's do it. I don't think anyone's made a mega game with mods yet. It's only been 2 days, but has anyone seen one? I have not seen one. Let's go multi-day, show all, mega. No, I don't think anyone has. I would like to make one. What mod would you guys like to see in mega games? So right now there's only a limited set of mods available. Over time, we're going to be adding more. Let's talk about it before I jump into make a game. This is a list of mods that are available. The way I came up with this list is I looked at the most popular mods, and then I looked at the performance. So one of the big deals with mods in mega games is I need to make sure the mods are performant enough. There's a lot of mods that just loop over every order that happens in a game, and when you have a game with 400 people, it gets kind of crazy with lots of orders, and I want to make sure the mods actually perform well. It's not just about making it fast, it's also about making sure the game doesn't break, because there is a timeout if it takes more than, I think it's 65 seconds. If mods take more than 65 seconds to run, then they time out, and that's there just to make sure there's no infinite loops and stuff like that. I am considering raising that timeout for mega games, but right now I have not. The only thing I've changed for mega games related to the timeout, I didn't write this in the blog, but normally if a game times out 10 times in a row, it will just end the game. Warzone would just I think everyone votes to end or something like that. And that's there to keep it just from being an infinite loop where it just keeps trying to advance and consumes server resources every time. So I did change that for mega games where it won't delete them or won't end them. It will just email me every time a mega game times out so that at least I can step in and try to fix it. That's the only thing I changed. But other than that, there is, that's how I came up with the list. I took all the popular mods. I took all the popular mods that were used in large games, and then I took all the ones that were performant enough. And that's how I came up with this list. So I do expect to add more, but we need to do more testing. So right now we're in a data gathering phase. We need to play some modded mega games and see how it goes. And let me create a modded mega game. I was thinking about this right as I was starting to stream. And I think I know what modded mega game I want to create, unless anyone has any ideas. But I need to set it up here. Just give me a second. hold on. I need to... Oops. I am going to use a different mod. Oh, shoot. Okay, hold on. I want to use a mod that's not in the list, so I'm actually going to add one. 42 player small Earth game with crazy settings. I think we have to do more than 42 players because we want to get performance testing on with a lot of players. But I want something kind of crazy. So I think what I'm going to do is swap territories. Come on, why is this taking so long? We're going to play a swap territories modded game, mega game. I'm going to be creating this here in a minute. Anyone's going to be able to join it. Why is this taking so long? What's going on? Giddy templates, there we go. I actually started working on it earlier while I was getting ready to stream. So at the end of every turn, there's going to be a 50% chance that territories swap. When they swap a random territory, we'll change ownership to each player. Strategic, no. Chaotic fun, yes. We'll give some coins to the winner. We'll give 300 coins to whoever wins, too. Let's go enable it using our new mod browser. Swap. Swap territories. So we're going to swap one territory and a 50% chance of swapping one territory every turn. Swapping territories with 200 players? Yeah. Let's go 200 players? I was thinking 150. I mean, we could do 200. I don't have anything against 200, but this should be good. What cards should we include? I want to do Light Fog. I want to do Light Fog because I want people to be able to see the swaps. I want it to be public. I think that's said already. Yeah, Light Fog. Light Fog, so you'll be able to see who gets what. Yeah, only one swap, but it'll give you access to a new area. It's like you get swapped on the other side of the board. You could do entire swaps where it swaps every territory you have. So this is just like, no, that would be dumb. You'd be like, oh, I'm swapped into controlling the entire map. Oh, no, I'm swapped out of controlling the entire map. The swap territory loop all orders? No, it doesn't. Which is fine. This is just a first test. For the first test for modded mega games, we'll do a basic mod that just, it only happens at the end of the turn. For my next one, I'll do a mod that swaps, runs on every order. Big question is, what cards should we include? Diplomacy card could be interesting if someone's like in the middle of your territory and you're like, oh crap, I don't want you to be able to spread out and conquer me. I'll play a diplomacy card on you, and then by the time the diplomacy card ends, maybe it won't be you anymore. No, that doesn't make sense. That's not going to be the territory that swaps, most likely. Diplomacy could also be really annoying. Emergency blockade card? How about a normal blockade card? They should be pretty rare. Like, you're going to get swapped, so you could get swapped into someone's territory and then blockade it. But I want that to be pretty rare. Let's go one every 15 turns. You shouldn't be able to blockade every time you're swapped into someone else's. Dirty gifting? What is dirty gifting in this context? It's not a team game. You mean with diplomacy card? Is that when you'd want a dirty gift? Airlift card. So airlift card is interesting because if you get swapped a territory that has a bunch of armies on it, you could airlift them out back to your empire, but I think that's actually too powerful. I don't think we'd want to do that. We could do it extremely rare, like 1 every 50 turns or something like that. So you better make really good use of that airlift. Sanctions card might make the game too long. Bomb card, yeah, don't really need a bomb card. Order delay, order priority don't help. It's already late fog, so I don't think we need spy, reconnaissance, or surveillance. Hey Thram, how's it going? I think that should be fine. Rare cards. Negative sections to trick people that don't read settings. No. Okay, 3 days boot. Let's go 1.5 days boot so it doesn't take forever. And then a bank time. We'll put some bank time on. How about 1 day, start with a day bank, and you get 1 hour of bank per day. Okay. Is Rise of Roan my favorite map? No, it is not. Do I know Windsink? I have heard the name. I do not know him personally. Initial bank 1 hour. Oh, thank you. 24 hours. There we go. Save that template. The mega game is up. Territory Swap Chaos. Feel free to join this game. This is Test Mods and Mega Games, which is a new feature. And we made it on stream. All right. Mods and Mega Games. You can now experience it. Who's going to be the first person to join? No one's joined yet? Okay. All right. So let's go through everything else that changed in this recent update. So obsolete updates. Achievements. Metal Gear, first joiner. Good job. So achievements. Let's talk about achievements. In some of these, and I don't know if I can find one. Reverse. No. What's an obsolete achievement that I have? What are the obsolete achievements? Obsolete. Crazy. Win the crazy challenge. So crazy challenge. There's like, this is an old single player level that used to exist before the single player levels were revamped into this whole thing. There used to only be 6 levels. There were like 3 normal levels and 3 challenges before all of these single player levels were added. There was only 6. Can you believe that? Long time ago. But 3 of them were challenges and they had achievements associated with them. Those are now obsoleted since they're not really even on this list anymore. You can still play those old levels. If you go to the all built-in page, which is like a secret page. Oh, broken images. But this is the crazy challenge. A long time ago, this used to be a level that a lot of people played. And there was an achievement for beating it. But these days, since that's not even a level we display anymore, that is an obsolete achievement. So now, I can't point at it, but you can see here on the right, it says it's obsolete. It is marked as obsolete. And the reason we do that is because I saw some people being confused. They would see this achievement on other people's profiles. So if you go down to the available achievement section, which is at the bottom, right? The unearned achievement section, obsolete achievements will never show up in this list. And also you don't need to achieve obsolete achievements to get 100%. They are not taken into account when calculating this percentage here. So that is because they're obsolete. Some of them you can't even earn anymore. Because there's like an achievement for winning the 2v2 auto game. That is an achievement that used to exist. The 2v2 auto game does not exist anymore, so it is an obsolete achievement. It cannot be earned. But it still showed up on people's profiles, and that confused people. So now they are marked as obsolete, so it is less confusing. That's all that is. It was a long-winded explanation for a very short feature. Can I get a short response, please? What do you want a response to? Did you ask me something? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even notice. I missed your message. I think I was not paying attention to chat. Hey, Chief. I asked that once in the forum, and several other players agreed to the idea. Could you please invent a feature that avoids committing accidentally, like the option to set double click in the menu or something to shift the commit button anywhere else on the screen? Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think you should submit that or vote on it on the feature request forum. So if you come in here to the forum, go to feature requests. I think it's in here. I think that's already on here. Confirmation, search, confirm. I thought it was in here. Maybe someone else can find it. But yeah, I think it's in here already. If it's not, feel free to create it. I think it's a fine feature. I remember trying to beat the Insane Challenge for hours when I just started out. Yeah, the Insane Challenge was very difficult. Funny enough, the original challenges, there used to just be 2 of them, and I called them Challenge 1 and Challenge 2. That was my... You can tell I'm great at naming things, right? And the Crazy Challenge eventually Challenge 1 got renamed to the Crazy Challenge. Challenge 2 got renamed to the Insane Challenge. So that's what you're talking about. You're talking about the Insane Challenge. Back when it was called Challenge 2, the most common feedback I got was, oh my God, Challenge 2 is so hard, you need to make it easier. Or it's just like, Challenge 2 is impossible. People would send me that all the time. And the reason I renamed it to the Insane Challenge was actually to address that feedback. And it did. People stopped sending me that feedback. The level didn't change, but just the name change gave people the expectation that this level is supposed to be insanely difficult. And once they realized that, they stopped sending me that mail over and over. I have wasted many hours of your life. You should go beat it again, Farah. Do you think you could beat it really easily now that you're just like better at the game? Why did you make the tutorial breaker obsolete? I don't think it's achievable anymore, right? There used to be honestly, it was a bug. There used to be a way you could break the tutorial and like break out of the tutorial, and then end up beating the level faster than you normally could. But maybe the tutorial, yeah, I don't think it's possible now. I think the tutorial is different now. I can't remember. Are you sure you want to commit orders? That's what the feature request is called. There you go. Will there be any progress on make nudge button usable for real-time games? Let me copy that into this browser. Black Bart, you are the submitter of this. Okay, good. Let's talk about nudge button in real-time games. I want to ask you a question about this. Do you actually use the nudge button in multi-day games? Let me ask you another question. Do you find that the nudge button is actually effective at getting people to move? Because I kind of feel like it's not. And so I feel like adding it to real-time games would not actually accomplish what you're hoping it would accomplish. Because all the nudge button does today is it sends the person an email or push notification, whatever notification options they have enabled on the game. And I kind of feel like that's not really going to work in real-time games. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it would work. The Insane Challenge is quite luck dependent. It'll be easier, but it still takes quite some time. I think there actually are some strategies you can beat it without getting lucky. We need better notifications. People join a game while waiting, they get distracted. Sure. And I'm interested in hearing what that is. How do you think the notification should be designed? A little, just going back to the update, with nudge or something that like we can notify them. I would argue that it shouldn't require somebody to click a nudge button. It should just be automatic. Flashing screen, ding. So most people play on mobile. So you're going to want to send them a notification. Like they've probably switched to a different app. I ignore nudge 90% of the time. Typically only respond if it's a team game. My teammates are nudging me. Okay, well, while we think about that, The auto artifact swapper will now swap in mercenary discount artifacts when opening the mercenary dialogue. This was something somebody asked for. So when you, the auto artifact swapper automatically swaps in artifacts to give you the maximum effect of every action you take. When you open a mercenary camp, if you have an artifact that decreases the cost of your mercenaries, in the previous version, you would still see the full cost, because when you open this dialogue, it hasn't been swapped in yet. And then when you click the purchase button, it would swap it in at that point, which would end up not purchasing all the mercenaries. Also, if you have a, yeah. So now it will actually swap in the artifact when you open this dialogue, so that you see all the accurate details. I made the Mega Game member only. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I did not mean to make the Mega Game member only. Let me delete this. Sorry, people that have joined it. I'm going to recreate that. Yeah, that's something I actually need to think about. Should all Mega Games automatically... Yeah, let's see. I'm actually going to adjust that. Mega Games with mods. So what happened is whenever you create a modded multiplayer game, if you don't check this box, then non-members won't be able to join it. Which I'm actually thinking that should not apply to Mega Games. I think I'm going to make it so this box doesn't even appear for Mega Games. It shouldn't need to exist. Okay, let's try that again. I'm going to fix that in the next update. But yeah, the game would never fail if we required 150 members. There are a lot more than 150 members, but it would take a long time to fill, let's put it that way. Doesn't mobile already give you a notification when the game starts? Yes, it does. So that's why I'm not rushing to fix this. Then the question is, like, why do we need more notifications? Is more notifications really going to solve the problem? It got over 200 votes. There's an issue. Okay, so there's an issue, but what's the right fix? My concern is if we just add nudge option to real-time games, it's not actually going to fix the problem. I want to hear from the people that voted on this. Do you actually use nudge? Have you actually found it to be successful? If the answer is no, then I think then this isn't the right solution. So I talked about this earlier in the stream, but more idle syncing and performance improvements. I talked about that a little on the forum as well. More notifications would help a lot. Okay, maybe. Territory annotations now show in a faded, faded on the map. So this is a whole bunch of mod stuff. Territory annotations are a way that mods can pop up a little message on the map. The same way that works with the cards. So like when you play a blockade card, it says blockade on top of it. Mods can now do that. Right now, everyone sends an email, but the player doesn't check email. Well, all Nudge does, if the player is set up for email notifications, is send an email. So they need a ding, screen flash, text, etc. If they want it, make it selectable in profile. Yeah. So first off, we should talk about that. So I like the ideas of ding, screen flashes, and texts. But so if they're on mobile, we can't really ding them or screen flash them if they don't have the app open. If they have the app open, we can. If they don't have the app open, we cannot. Only thing we do is send them a notification. If they're on web browser, if they have this page open, then yes, we can ding it and flash the screen. If they don't have the page open, there's a problem in modern browsers, which is something that only started happening in recent years, which is if you are on a different tab, the tab behind it won't be able to make noise. So one thing that's actually related to what you're asking for is browser push. So one of the features web browsers can do now is you can actually send people notifications in their browser directly to them in their browser. This is actually something Warzone currently does not support, and it is something I actually want to add. And that might actually address part of your problem for people that are playing on browsers. Actually, one of the things that's interesting I'd like to know the answer to. Are you having this problem with people that are playing in browsers or people that are playing on mobile? I don't know if you know the answer to that, but that is actually something that would address the way we approach this problem. Notifications for standalone client as well. Yeah, standalone client should have notifications as well. Yes, I mean it just uses the normal notifications, which is email or push, but the standalone client is not used by very many people, so that is probably a lower priority. Not sure about browser or mobile, probably both. Yeah, I think that maybe is the first step. We need to answer that question. If this problem is mostly happening on browser players, we can definitely improve that with browser push. If it's mostly happening on mobile players, we need to improve that probably with more notifications. I'm not sure more notifications will actually work. Because, so, like, we had this problem with real-time tournaments a while back. And I made it so it just spams notifications to people when a real-time tournament is starting. It's like, it's going to start in 5 minutes, it's going to start in 4 minutes, it's going to start in 30 seconds. You get like a whole bunch of notifications if you join a real-time tournament and you have push notifications enabled on mobile devices. And I noticed it doesn't really affect much. Like, people still just blew it off. And it might just because they didn't have notifications enabled, or it might just be because they were, not even looking at their phone. Just want to get feedback that I tried multiplayer for the first time, and I flagged because the turn indicator is nothing like the single player turn indicator. So I had no clue it was my turn while I thought it was my opponent's clock was ticking, because I'm used to how Lichess Chess.com handles turn and turn indicators. Oh, that's interesting. I actually like to hear more about that, Emberg. So first off, welcome to the stream. Thank you for sharing your feedback. What did you expect the turn indicator to look like? That's what I'm interested in hearing. Notification game start already happens, yes. But basically, Blackbart is asking for more notifications. Like, he wants to have, instead of having just one, he wants to have multiple. And I'm not sure that's going to help, but maybe it will. The settings dialog now explains icons in more detail. This is something I added to try to help new players understand these icons more. I don't know if I have an example, but like right here, it used to just say fog level is light fog. Now it says in parentheses you can see owners of the whole map, but armies on only adjacent territories, just to help people who don't know what light fog means. Basic thing. These icons are kind of here for new players. That's how I view it. Oh yeah, and just following up on Emberg's statement, I will also look at Lichess Chess.com. I don't actually play on those sites, so I don't know. Turn indicator. I actually don't know what Lichess and Chess.com do for their turn indicators, but I'd be interested in learning what that is. Maybe somebody else in the chat knows. Fixed a bug that prevented copying games with random teams. What was happening here was, if a game was configured for random teams, as in you invite 4 people and they get randomly matched up into a 2v2. If you tried to copy that game, it would try to re-randomize the teams, which ended up not working, and it gave an error message. Because if you're copying the game at like start at turn 5 out of a 10-turn game, it should just use the exact same teams that were previously randomized, not re-randomizing. So that's fixed. Some other bug fixes. Oh, this redo orders is null error. This error gives me nightmares. Many years ago, probably over 10 years ago, near the beginning, early years of the game, there was this error called redo orders is null. Some variable in the code was null, which was not supposed to be null. And I spent like insane number of hours trying to figure out what was going on there. It was some race condition. And yet, here we go. This error resurfaced again in 2025. That same variable ended up being null. I did fix it like over 10 years ago, but it resurfaced. Fixed it again. Whenever I see this phrase, redo orders is null, it gives me nightmares. Could it be possible to make a deployable menu for local deployment games? The other, I was playing a big local deployment map, and the menu of the territories I could barely deploy anything is massive and overridden. Yeah, that is a problem I have seen before, and I agree it should be fixed. What he's talking about is in a local deployment game, this menu up here in the top left, if you have so many bonuses, it can extend really far down. And also, if you're like on a mobile device, whoa, why is that so? If you're on a mobile device, it might be covered. Well, a mobile device would look more like this. You can imagine if this dialogue extended beyond your entire screen, then you only have this tiny narrow little window where you can actually see the map. It's a problem. And I agree there should be a better way of solving that problem. So yeah, thanks for raising it. And I'm sorry you had a bad experience. I do agree that's something that should be addressed. I would say for now you should put it on the feature request forum, but could the UI for sending private messages be improved? In mega games, it can take a couple minutes just to find the player. Yeah, I know, that is a problem too. What he's talking about is this private button. When you're in a 4-player game, it's pretty easy to just be like, oh, I want to talk to this person. But if you're in a mega game, there's so many here and there's no search option, and they might not even be in alphabetical order. Maybe they are in alphabetical order. Yeah, I agree that's a good improvement we should have. You should definitely add that to the feature request form. I would consider doing that if it's on the feature request forum, because I agree. Maybe we should put a search bar. Yeah, that's what you're saying. A search bar or a more efficient way to browse users would be super helpful. I agree. Should be a search bar at the very least. I expected the same sounds from single player turns. It's a click or something on multiplayer. And it wasn't obvious it was my turn. Oh, so it does make a sound. It is the same sound. I thought it was the same sound. Single player? Oh no, in single player it doesn't. It makes a different sound. It just uses the clunk. I have volume turned down here. Yeah, when you commit, it just makes the chunk sound. In multiplayer, when the turn advances, it makes a really loud alarm. It's like a bling. I'm surprised you would miss it, unless like you had the tab deactivated or something. On chess websites, the clock glows when it's your turn and darkens when it's not your turn. Okay, that's a reasonable thing. I think that's a good idea. I'm going to write that down. Also, hear sound prompts in single player when all players move. Oh, interesting. You hear sound prompts in single player when all players move. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. Are you talking about in Warzone or in chess? In Warzone, all players have their turn at the same time, so there isn't really a your turn or their turn. I mean, that's true, but if you've committed and you're waiting on other people to go, then it's basically not your turn at that point. That's the way I interpret that. But you're right, it isn't really turns, it's different terminology, but like both when you and the bot in single player move, sound plays out. I expected to hear that. Player move sounds play out. Like when you're watching the turn? There was no tutorial that told me that, yeah. Being able to open a chat with a specific player from the bottom right players list would be a decent quick fix for private messaging in larger games. The same place you go to see income breakdown. Yeah, I think that's an option too. You can put that in the feature request form as well. I guess the app doesn't have website functionality in multiplayer. The app and website have the same functionality. You should definitely be hearing sounds if the turn advances. It makes a really loud sound. Feel free to write me a private mail, Emberg, and let me know more about your experience. I'd like to hear more about it. I mean, you can talk about it here too, but if you don't want to talk here in chat or you don't have time right now, feel free to write me private mail, and I'd love to have a conversation with you about that. I love hearing from new users and figuring out what part of the games are complicated. Also, if something didn't work properly for you, I would definitely like to fix that. Because there definitely should be sounds when the game advances. Okay, so that is the end of the new updates that we're going to go through. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go through this thread, which is people that ask questions that were not able to be here today. So we'll go through those questions so that they can read their answers or watch their answers in the stream. So the first question is, hospitals upgrade 100 seconds faster. That means from 120 minutes to 1.2 minutes or 72 seconds? Yes. That is how Idle Premium work. Idle Premium makes your hospitals upgrade 100 times faster. I'm expecting the goal of the new browser page to be an information place for players where they can check all the mods or search for one. I can see some potential with individual mod pages. Yes, that is basically what it is. Will you consider adding more functionality to these pages? Yes. Things like more data for everyone. How many times the mod has been used, crash rate, bug crash reporting, mod documentation, and manuals. Feature requests solely for the mod. Yeah, I do think that the idea of having a page for each mod is so that we can do more stuff there. I think those are all good ideas. One of the things I was thinking of that I actually considered doing for this update, but it got cut due to time, was to do mod ratings and reviews, kind of like what maps have. Like when you go to a map page, you come down here and you can read reviews on it and you can rate it. Actually, you don't rate it on this page, you rate it somewhere else, but you can read the reviews and vote on the reviews. That was one thing I was thinking about doing for mods. But yeah, I think all your ideas are good too. You can add them to the feature request form. There are more mods trusted for mega games than there are for tournaments. Is that true? Let's come in here. We can easily answer that question. So if I come in here and I say all mods that support tournaments is 18. All mods that support mega games, 15. So I don't think that's actually true. It's close. Well, the Apple app didn't have the sound. It's just a very light click, barely noticeable. If it is supposed to be a loud sound in multiplayer, the single player sounds is a lot louder than multiplayer sounds in the app. Okay, so it definitely sounds like something that wasn't working properly for you. First thing, Emberg, I want you to do, in your Apple app, click the head in the top right and go to settings. There are two sliders here. There's one that says critical sounds and there's one that says normal sounds. Are either of these muted for you? And there's a checkbox in each one as well. If critical sounds was turned off, that might explain what you're seeing. Because critical sounds are the sounds that happen when a multiplayer game advances to the next turn. They have different sliders for volume. So if you maybe somehow at some point accidentally turn that off, that might explain what you're seeing. So will the mods for tournaments be expanded in the future too? Yes. So these are the qualifications for putting a mod into tournaments or quick matches different than mega games. Mega games, it's mostly a performance thing right now. If you have a mod that you want to see in tournaments or quick match, feel free to send me a mail and we can have a discussion about it. And just so you're prepared, if it's a mod I'm not familiar with, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do, if you send me a mail that you want to use mod in tournaments, I'm going to ask you to invite me to a game on that mod. Like, invite me to the game that you would have created for the tournament. If it's a mod I'm not familiar with. If it's a mod I already know, I probably won't ask you to do that. But if it's a mod I don't know, I will ask you to invite me to a game to show off the mod. Is your phone on silent? Some sounds get muted if it's on silent. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's another thing to check. Private notes should be fine for tournaments. Might mail about it later. Sure. That one seems reasonable. Do you have any insight to tell us what the maximum execution speed is allowed for mods and mega games? I mean, the main thing we're trying to accomplish with mods and mega games is we want to make sure that no mega game takes more than 65 seconds to run their mods. And I think the time when we'd most likely see a timeout is advancing to a next turn. On a turn that has just tons of orders. If you have 400 players and you have a mod that processes every order, and sometimes you have a mod that, like, in every order they do a loop and they loop over every territory or something crazy like that, you could easily get like an n squared situation where you end up having a mod that just takes way too long. Also, every mod combined needs to run in faster than 65 seconds. So somebody could check like 10 mods on the game and every one loops over every order. That needs to be faster than 65 seconds. That is the goal. And again, we're in an information gathering phase at this point when it comes to mods and mega games. So we're going to run some mods and mega games. We're going to see how well they perform. We're going to look at the data and try to figure out where to go from there. Maybe what we find is we put a bunch of mods in the mega game and it only takes 1 second and it's no problem. And it's like, okay, well, in that case, we can open the floodgates and we can allow a lot more slower mods in. Maybe we're going to put mods in mega game and we're going to realize, oh crap, it's taking 60 seconds already. We're like, well, in that case, I need to optimize things. I need to go in there and profile it, figure out what's being slow, make it faster. That will be on me. So we're in an information gathering phase now. We're going to see how it goes, and we're going to expand this feature slowly over time. One feature I would love to see when creating a commerce game, setting the per city cost increments and or the starting cost for troops instead of both being hard-coded to one. Yes, I agree with you. I think especially the first one you said, which is setting the per city cost increments. I think that is a good feature. I would also want to see, the other thing I really want to see is a per city cost increment for all cities you control, not just on the territory you're building, but across your entire empire. I think that's important for reducing city spam. And maybe also a setting for how much each city gives you, how many armies each city gives you. I do think city spam is an issue right now in commerce games. People just make way too many cities, and it's especially in big games with lots of territories. It's kind of unwieldy, and it's not really the way that commerce games are meant to be played, in my opinion. It's not the way I intended them, let's put it that way. Average mod runtime per player might be a thing to display on the mods page, but then that's a just been feature request. So it does display the time right now, so you can calculate that yourself. There is an API for that. It is something that mod creators can get access to. And certainly I could do more to make it presented better, but at least the data is available. Critical sounds are indeed on. It's not on silent. Single player sounds are louder, so I turned it down, but multiplayer then didn't make as loud of a sound as in single player. It's inconsistent sound volume between the game modes in the app. Huh, that's really weird. I do play on iPhone from time to time, and I don't experience what you're saying. So I'm not sure I fully understand what went wrong for you. Did you have the app open or was it minimized? Did you have did you close the app and go to something else while you were waiting, or was the app open and you were looking at it? There should be a visual indicator as well. Yeah, that I agree with you. There's no question about that. The main thing is why you didn't hear the sounds, because it does make a very loud sound when a multiplayer game advances. City on every territory you own, can't afford to stack them because you play more that way. Yeah, no, I understand. The game mechanics encourage you to do that. It's just not really a good experience in my experience, because you end up having to build so many cities, and then like if you misclick one, you have to delete them all and rebuild, which is another problem. I noticed the setting page does not show the icon next to the mod name. Yeah, so the new mod icons are not on the settings page. You're absolutely right, and I agree it should be there. That is something that I also considered doing in this update, but it got punted due to time. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, I want to redo a lot of the settings page. So I decided as long as I'm redoing more of the settings page, I will add icons in there when I do that work, rather than doing it in this update. But yes, I absolutely do agree you should have the icons, the mod icons, in the settings page. iPad app was open, you were in the game interacting with the game chat. Huh, that's really weird. So if you see that again, Emberg, or actually maybe you'd be willing to try it for me, just try it again, and then if you have that problem, what I'd like you to do, right after the turn advances, and which you don't hear the sound, I want you to go click the button in the top right, go to help, then go to contact, then go to report a bug, and just type some text and click submit. What that will do is that will send me the log of your device's log, the history of what happened recently. And then I can look into it and I can try to figure out why the sound didn't play. Because there definitely should have been a sound. Yeah, I'd appreciate it if you do that. Because there definitely should be a sound in multiplayer when a turn advances. And if it's not working, I'd like to fix it. Can you spare like 5 minutes breaking down how a Clan Wars matchmaking works? For example, pick one day, one slot. Yeah, so the way it works is pretty simple. Let's see if I can find that. Matchmaking. Matchmaking change. So the way it works is it matches clans with the most players queued to the time slot first. So what it will do, and let's pull up an example. Let's go to Clan Wars, queue time slots. Sure. So it'll grab all the players that queued for a specific time slot. Like let's say, let's see if we can find a good example. So I guess this one, we'll look at this one. I just gotta zoom out a little bit to see it all. So what it'll do is it will first group clans by the number of players that join. So you can see here we have, what clan is this? Does it say? After Dark. We have After Dark, which had 4 people join. And we had the Night Club, which had 6 people join. So Night Club is going to get the first match because they have the most players. So it's going to pick one person from this clan. I think it's just a random person. And then it's going to find someone to match them with. And what it's going to do is it's going to look at the Clan War rating, which you can see on the clan page. If you go down here, there is a war rating right here. 564 for Night Club. And then it's going to find the war rating of all other clans that are joined to this. So Prime is 509. So those are pretty close. I don't know if it's the closest because I'm not going to pull up every single one. But it's going to find the clan that has the closest rating to theirs, and then it's going to make a match. So like, let's say it chose, let's change it chose Mike. Find a name I can pronounce. It's going to match Mike with one other player. Let's say it matches Mike with TV. Sure. Then we remove Mike and TV from the list, and then we just repeat that. Again, we take the clan that now has the most remaining players. Night Club has 5. After Dark still has 4. So Night Club gets picked again. We pick a random player from Night Club. We match them with the closest Clan War rating player. And then we just keep repeating that until all the players are gone. It's a pretty simple algorithm. I don't think that took 5 minutes. So I could ramble until the 5 minutes are hit. But I think you get the idea. Would it be possible to add an option to disable the zoom out in idle when I finish a territory? So you can already do that. So if you go to the settings menu, there's a checkbox here that says show animation when capturing a bonus. I just realized this doesn't make it clear that's talking about idle, but yeah, that's talking about idle. So if you uncheck this box, that won't happen anymore. Thanks, looked like I was blind and did not see it there. Yeah, cool. Glad we can solve that. Would it be even better if a mod contained a link to the appropriate wiki page? The mod description seems to have a character limit before truncating and can only use plain text, no formatting options. So I agree it would be nice if there was formatting options available in the mod description. I would encourage you to make a feature request for that. I think that would be a good feature. Linking to an appropriate wiki page. I don't think the wiki is the best place to store data about mods. I think that data should be in the app so that people don't have to go to the wiki. I think that's the best solution. So I'd rather see that happen, to be honest. That's my opinion. How's the lawsuit going? So the lawsuit, just for those that don't know, Activision has sued us like 4 years ago now, and we've been fighting it this entire time. I can't talk about the specifics of how it's going. The only updates I can give you are last time I streamed, I think I said the lawsuit was scheduled, we had a trial scheduled for May. The only thing that's changed is we no longer have a trial scheduled for May. It has been postponed. I don't know the new date, but I still expect it to be this year. I just don't know when it will be. Will there ever be an option to buy Auto Premium as a lifetime purchase? No, that is not something I'm currently planning. Clan War benefit that you get to increase 40-person limits. So clans are currently limited to 50 people. It used to be 40 people, now it's 50. If you're asking for a Clan War benefit like something you can win to increase your limits, that's not something you can currently do. I think it is probably not going to happen, but it's not completely unreasonable. Have you ever considered that Easter Sunday might be a time when people are busy with other things, and that therefore is perhaps not the ideal time to do an Ask Me Anything stream? I did not realize I was streaming on Easter Sunday when I scheduled this, so sorry about that. Usually I try to schedule the streams for a couple days after the update, which is what I did here. In the past, a lot of times the updates will happen late in the week or on a weekend, and then that means the stream falls on a Monday. And I've had people say, like, why do you always stream on Monday? You should stream on a different time. Some people have said that to me before. So this time I figured, I stream on a Sunday. And then I'm like, oh, that's Easter. Oops. I do think we got lower participation today, but that's fine. People can watch it on YouTube if you missed it. In the future, I will try not to stream on a holiday. Could we get an option to buy yearly memberships? There is indeed an option to buy yearly memberships. The only catch is it's only on the website. You cannot buy it through the app. If you come in here, there's a yearly membership. It is $15 a year. The price of that really needs to go up, honestly, in my opinion. This has been $15 a year for how long has that been? It's probably been over 10 years. Like, just due to inflation, it's actually gone down in price a lot. Probably should be raised, in my opinion. Probably should happen. So if you're going to get it now, because I'm thinking about raising it. And just to complete what I was just talking about, if you do buy a membership on the website, you still get member benefits on all platforms. It just gets tied to your Warzone account. So it doesn't matter what platform you buy it on, you'll be a member on all platforms. You don't know if the price should go up because the member-only perks are only decreasing over time. I think they're increasing over time when you consider the value in mods. I think mods is the biggest member feature, and being able to be ad-free. I would only increase it to match inflation. I think that would be the plan. Both, but usually I play on mobile, so I wasn't. Yeah, that's fair. With the widespread adoption of machine learning, we consider hosting another Warzone AI competition. So I actually did not host a Warzone AI competition, but somebody else did. There was a third party that hosted it. I have made the Warzone AI open source, so you can download the source code. I remember there being such a competition, but they were mostly based on manually coded logic. Yes. Did that competition come with a simulation for Warzone? I think they did make one. Yeah. I don't remember much about it. I didn't write it, so I don't remember it. I also did not participate. I only watched it from the sidelines. Is it still available? I don't think so. I think their website shut down. I don't even remember who did that. I'm sure you could track down the people that did it and ask for it, but I don't remember who it was. We released some sort of simulation for Warzone that people can train their own machine learning models. Training machine learning models for Warzone is something I'm interested in doing. I think it would be interesting. I don't know how to actually do that. I don't know how to make a model for Warzone that can be trained on a GPU. Certainly you could train Warzone on a CPU classic conventionally, but that's probably not going to be very effective. You want like the newfangled deep learning models. I don't know how you do that. I've never tried to do that, so I don't know. $400 is 48, so 15 a year is crazy. Yeah, I agree. Thanks for agreeing with me that it should be raised in price. I know that's not what you're saying. That's the joke. You could theoretically train AIs using ladder games, clan war games, collection of games, or your own games. I have thought about that before too. And then that's one of the cool things about Warzone is we have like tens of millions of games in the database that we can train with. The only problem is, not a problem. Like I think it could work. I'm not sure that would be a more effective solution than just doing a standard reinforcement learning AI that plays against itself. I think that might actually be better. One of the cool things about doing a machine learning AI that plays against itself is it can learn new strategies that no human had thought of. Like, there's that famous movie called AlphaGo where they trained an AI to play the game Go. And the AI actually discovered new strategies that basically no human had ever discovered before. And I think that's one of the cool things. The same thing could happen for Warzone if we have an AI train against itself, learn enough. Maybe we would discover some new strategies that no one had ever used. Humans might be able to learn from the AI and improve their play. The funniest thing was some account claimed to be a trained neural network test account, but it was just a good player making awkward moves. Sometimes to fake being an AI. Did that happen in Warzone? Or are you talking about a different game? Getting game data isn't the issue. You need to be able to apply your AI model to something where it can run super quickly and it can learn for several iterations per second. Yes. The current old system of making AI play a multiplayer game against itself is too slow to be used for machine learning. Waste of computational power when the current system is too slow. I should steal that excuse for my bad moves. Happened about 7 years ago. Cool. All right, so we have finished going over all of the questions that were asked in this forum thread. So I think that is going to be it for this stream. Short stream is only an hour and a half. Short stream. I went over the updates pretty fast. And there weren't a lot of people here because of Easter Sunday. No problem, but unless anyone has any last second questions for me, I think we're going to wrap things up. So thanks everyone for hanging out. Any plans to support Unicode in the app anytime soon? So Unicode is supported, but it doesn't support every character. So every character that every character that needs to appear in the Unity app needs to be shipped with the app. It's an unfortunate reality of just the Unity Text Mesh Pro rendering library. It can't pull characters from the system, which I always thought was stupid. I actually had an argument with the creator that created that component many, many years ago, back when I was first making this. He tried to argue with me that that wasn't necessary to automatically pull in characters from the system. And I was like, dude, I want to have a chat system where people can just talk to each other. The app should be able to render any character. He's like, no, he didn't think it was important. So that's why that never feature got done. Apparently I wasn't persuasive enough. But yeah, understandably, a lot of people that make Unity games are not supporting online chat. They are more just they have a set text. They have a set of text that their game displays. Like it's just, every NPC you can talk to says certain strings, and so you can like know in advance every character your app is going to display. And you can just be like, well, those are the characters I'm going to include in the app. Different situation than what Warzone is in. So so it doesn't include every character. What I did is I scanned through every game that had ever been played at the time when I did this, and I included every character that had ever been said in every game. Every character had been said a certain number of times. I think like if the character appeared more than like twice, I included it. I also scanned through all the maps and all the characters that were names of territories on the maps. And that's how I came up with the set of characters that are shipped with the app. It's just a memory issue. The more characters you include, the more memory the app takes. That's why it doesn't support every character. Do you prefer the more northern or southern Netherlands? I have never been to either. I would like to visit both Netherlands. You either satisfy me or Maine with your answer? Well, clearly I got to be right on the border. I got to find a hotel that's like straddling the line. And I have to get a hotel room that is right on the line. Because I can't pick favorites. Like that would just be... Currently, if you buy yearly, you save just under 70%. Did you intend for gold in hand to be shown when using NoFog? No. We just had a discussion about that. I think you know the answer to that, Krint. Reminded me of a game when I see your dashboard. It's the Encircle V3 game, yes. Noted to send my most used emojis in every game chat then, yeah. So in theory, based on the example, it could be 33.6, yes. Okay, cool. So thanks everyone so much for watching. We're going to wrap up the stream here today, and I hope to see you all next time. Have a great Easter Sunday and the rest of your week.